Okay. Hello, students. My name is William Okay. Today I'm going to read another part of the Bible. Today I'm going to read Jeremiah chapter 51. Okay. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I rise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst, and that rise up against me a destroying wind. And I send unto Babylon fanners, and I shall fan her, and shall empty her, and for the day of trouble shall be against her round about, and against him that bend, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself in his bargain line, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly her host. As a slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are trust through in her streets. For Israel hath been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, the Lord of hosts, through their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man of his soul. Be not cut off in his iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her recompense. Babylon hath her golden cup, the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken her of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her take, balm for her pain, and if so be, may be healed. If we would have healed Babylon, but you have not healed, forsake her, and let us go every one unto his own country. For our judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion, and the work of the Lord our God, and to the work of the Lord God. Make bright the arrows, carry the shields the Lord hath raised up. The spear of the kings of Medes, and rest device is against Babylon, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Set a standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen, prepare the bushes, for the Lord hath been devised against the dead, to speak against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon the many waters, abundant in treasures, then is come the measure of any covetousness. The Lord hath hosts that hath sworn himself, saying, surely I will fill with thee men with caterpillars, and they shall lift up as a shout against thee. He had made the earth by his power, and established the world of wisdom, and stretched out the heaven by his understanding. And he uttered his voice, and all the multitude of waters in the heavens. He causeth the vapors, and sent for the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind of his treasures. Every man the brutish by his knowledge, and every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image the falsehood, and there is no beneath in them. They are in vanity, the work in errors. It is time for their vestation, they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, and he is the father of all things. The Israel is the rod of inheritance, the Lord of his name. Thou art my battle axe, weapons of war. With thee will I break in pieces the nations. With thee will I destroy kingdoms. And with thee I will break in pieces the horse of his rider, And with thee I will break in pieces the trade of his rider. With thee I will also I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young. And with thee will I break in pieces and young men, and the maid will I break in pieces, and through the shepherd of his flock, with thee I break in pieces of the husband of his yoke and oxen, with thee of the breaking captains and rulers. For I rendered unto Babylon inhabitants of Chaldea, and all the evil I had done with Zion in their sight, see the Lord. Hold up against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth, and stretched out of my hand upon thee, and roll down from the rocks. I will make thee a burned mountain. And they shall not take be a stone in the corner, nor a stone of the fountain of the foundations. And they shall be desolate forever, say the Lord. Set up a standard in the land. Blow a trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations against her. Call together against her the kingdoms of Eret, Mene, and Aschenaz. Appoint a captain against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Prepare against her the nations, with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and the rulers thereof, and the land of his dominion. The land shall tremble in sorrow. Every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, and to the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forbidden to fight. They have remained in their folds, that they might have filled, and they become as women, and they should have burdened, and the dwelling places of her bars are broken. One full shall meet another, a messenger to one another to show the king of Babylon the city taken at one end. The messengers are stopped, and they have been burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. Blessed Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. The time of the thresher, a little while, at the time of the harvest shall come. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, hath devoured me. He hath crushed me, hath made an empty vessel. He hath swallowed out like a dragon, and he hath built up his body my delicates, and he hath cast me out. The violence unto me, and my flesh upon Babylon, and the inhabitant of the Zion, say my son by the heavens of Chaldea. So Jerusalem say, therefore that saith the Lord, behold, I plead thy cause, to take my vengeance of thee, and I will dry up her sea, and make up her springs dry. And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment of his hissing, the inhabitant, and they shall roar together like lions, and they shall yet as lions whelps. Hard I will make their feast, I will make them drunken, I will make them rejoice, the sleep of perpetual sleep, and not wakes of the Lord. I'll bring down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with he goats. How is Sheshesh taken? How is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How has Babylon become astonishment among the nations? The sea is come up upon Babylon, she is covered with the multitude of the wives thereof. Her cities are a desolation, a dry land, and the wilderness, and land therein no man dwelleth, neither doeth any son of man pass thereby. I will punish Bel in Babylon. I will bring forth of his mountain, which is he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yeah, the wall of Babylon shall fall. My people will go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver every man of his soul, and fierce against the Lord, and fierce anger of the Lord. And that's your heart faint, and your fear and rumor, and that shall be heard in the land. Rumor will come 1 year after that, and then another year shall come a rumor in the voice of the Lord. Again, a ruler against ruler. Therefore, behold, the days come, I will do judgment upon the great images of Babylon, and her hold shall be confounded, and her slain shall fall in the midst of her. And in heaven, the earth, that is therein, shall sing of Babylon, for the spoilers that come up from the north, say the Lord. As Babylon have caused the slain of Israel to fall, so that Babylon shall fall in the slain of all the earth. Yet they have escaped the sword. Go away. Thou shalt not still remember the Lord far off. And let Jerusalem come into your mind. Ye are confounded, because ye have learned reproach. Shame covered our faces. For strangers are come into the sanctuaries of the Lord's house. Wherefore, behold, the days come to the Lord, that I will do judgment upon our graven images, and give our land of the wounded shall groan. Though Babylon shall mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet for they shall spoilers against her, saith the Lord. A fountain of a cry cometh from Babylon, a great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans. Because the Lord has because of the spirit of Babylon, destroy out of her great voice, and when the waves of thy great waters, a noise of her voice is uttered. Because the spoil is come upon her, even upon Babylon, if her mighty men are taken, every one of her bowls are broken, even the Lord God of compasses shall surely requite. And I will now make drink of her princes, and her wise men her captains, and her rulers. Her mighty men, they shall sleep perpetual sheep, and not wake, saith the King, whose name is the Lord of hosts. And saith the Lord of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken. Her high gates shall be burned with fire, and shall be labor in vain, and the folk with fire, and they shall be weary. Which Jeremiah had commanded Syria, and son of Area, and son of Messiah. And when he went to Zedekiah the king unto Babylon in the 4th year of his reign, when Syria in his quiet place. So Jeremiah wrote this book, all his evil shall come unto Babylon. All these words are written against Babylon. And Jeremiah said unto Syria, when thou comest to Babylon, thou shalt read all these words. And that shall say, O Lord, the begins of the place cut off, there is none remain of it, neither man nor beast, neither shall be desolate forever. It shall be when thou hast made a reading of his book, and thou shalt bind in a stone to it, and thou cast the midst of Euphrates. And shall say, Babylon, this shall Babylon sink, thou shalt not rise, for the evil thou bring upon her, and they shall be weary. And thus far of the words of Jeremiah. Okay, let's think of Jeremiah chapter 51. Okay, next video, Jeremiah chapter 52. Okay. Okay, and you have to go right now. So thank you for watching this video. Just bye.